in the magic number to get you into playoffs.
Yeah.
Today, to kind of rely on the other teams to lose. But 100 Thieves don't want that to happen. This team that made the finals in spring wants to have a first-round bye, and they can fight for it here with a victory and then play the winner of FlyQuest versus C9 later.
All right, the time cards have been punched, and we are at work currently with 100 Thieves and OpTic Gaming now in Champion Select. Morgana Akali as the focused hits come out for those bands. We'll see what OpTic has for their first phase.
And something that I want to point out here is that teams get side selections since they play each other twice during the season.
Yep.
One team gets it in one of them, the other team gets it in the other. This one was OpTic side selection, and OpTic actually chose to go red side, even though blue side has been heavily favored, and 100 Thieves have a 7-1 record on blue side. Their first loss on blue side was yesterday versus C9, but OpTic, it seems like they're going to value things like counter pick for Dokla in a split push lane, and also potentially counter pick for Power of Evil and try to double counter.
They see that blue side. Attack! We will find it now. Aatrox and Nocturne very fast. The Zillion is hovered. Varus is still up. A lot of things actually still up here that could be locked in, and they decide to go for the support on the side of 100 Thieves to see what OpTic answers with.
Yeah, it's interesting because Tom Kench is still available, so there's still these power pick supports. But in terms of junglers, junglers has actually been pinched from the Kindred and the Nocturne, both on that side. You could pick up something that's pretty high priority if you wanted to. Neutral pick like Trundle, Graves that counters it, and that's more Acadian style, I would say. If they want to have the pressure, they would go with it, but looks like they might just lock in the bottom lane here. Arrow with the Ashe. And there's the TK like we mentioned.
Feeling good on that Draven, picking it back and forth for a week or so. Back to the Ashe for him so he can get the initiation in, but a little bit of map movement as well. I think we've seen these Tom Kenches become a bit more versatile in their engages and the willingness for people to go forward with that Abyssal Voyage. We'll see if OpTic does as well. Yeah. A little more poppy play in the LCS across the board and across the pond that we have seen lately. As it gets hovered, it gets switched, and Jhin is locked in for Cody's son, as we're keeping things matched up here in the first phase so far.
I'm trying to think, when's the last time Cody's son played Jhin? I'm actually looking across.
Keep going back.
It's his first time this split that he has played Jhin. He's played the Kai'Sa, Xayah, he's gone to the Varus, the Lucian, pretty much all over the board. He has not played a single Jhin game this split, which that's why it jumped out to me, is because Cody's son doesn't strike me as a Jhin type player when I think about him. It's the late game crit 80 carries that make sure that they can carry and have that large damage per minute in late game.
And they even get Graves too. They're doing the reload comp here. Hopefully both guys aren't reloading at the time they need that damage during a fight. Could come up in a big predicament. Power of Evil now to lock in here. A final first phase pick for OpTic Gaming. 10-7, 100 Thieves. OpTic 8-9. And a 9-9 possible pick as they lock in Camille.
All right, so they
pick aggression.
Pick the Camille here. You potentially ban out counters to the Camille or priority mid laners. I think what OpTic will do is they'll pick their jungler and then they'll pick their mid laner last. But the Camille is also flexible. It can go to the jungle for Acadian if something gets really bad in Champion Select, but I don't think it will. I think it will be for Dokla and allow him to split push. But they banned the GP that he played Camille into yesterday and couldn't really get any pressure over Hanser. So we'll see what they do here. I think 100 Thieves, you start banning out the jungle position because it's already got 3 champions taken away from it. And there's the Gragas, the 4th one you take away. Potentially Trundle, I think, is another one. And push Acadian onto something like Sejuani, which isn't exactly like the best at the moment.
Kindred Gragas there.
Yeah,
I actually see the Aatrox in there once. He's still banned, and the Nocturne. So yeah, pinching that even more would be nice. One final one from 100 Thieves in 10 seconds. Is it going to be the Trundle?
I think it would be the Trundle. That's my expectation here, is that you take away the Trundle and you force Acadian to go on something else, but
feels like the jungle matchup is considerable in what I'll get. I'm okay with Acadian getting. So they say, let's hit Power of Evil.
Yeah, it's because the fact that the Graves is a really good pick into the Trundle, so you wouldn't mind a Trundle. So I guess it's not worth the ban in their minds. But we might see something new here from Acadian if it isn't that. And Sejuani, there it is. That champion is a little bit better into the Graves. This is his second Sejuani game this split. The other one he went 0-3 and 0 on. So it was not a great performance from him up against Team Liquid. In fact, it was actually abysmal. But we'll see if he's able to get the engages today, because there are squishy champions on the other side. And that's where Sejuani pretty much thrives. If you can get through the early part of the game, get to the point where you can start throwing out the ultimates to just make engages happen. You see Ryu's already got the cleanse going because it's going to be a The Sejuani cleanse tax on the mid lane is what typically happens.
Never fun, but something you always have to consider. He also has a little point-and-click lockdown if Dokla gets too crazy with Camille in these fights. But he might be going up against Sunday's Jax in the top lane. We are going to get one hell of a fight out of those two. We've seen Dokla kind of coming up in his own this split for OpTic Gaming as being a little bit more aggressive, a lane they can look to for an advantage. And now he's going to test that against Sunday's Jax. Final pick here for OpTic as we finish up picks and bans.
And I am really excited to see this Jax because Dokla, he's been able to kind of split push as much as he wants. He's been able to split push in all the matchups that he usually gets, except for like the GP. And so now Someday is saying, I'm going to match your split push. This matchup for Camille is actually very rough, especially in the early parts. Camille is not a lane bully, and Jax isn't supposed to be either, but he does win this matchup with his counter-strike. But there is outplay potential with the Camille, and so this bit, it gets very intricate, and it basically becomes who starts using their E first, who's calling the bluff on their abilities, and it really becomes a mind game halfway through the game. So I'm watching this one in particular because the Trinity 4 split pushers, who can get the advantage? But I give 100 Thieves a little bit of an edge in the 2-on-2 because the Graves is a much better skirmisher than the Sejuani at the beginning.
Very, very strong. I'm going to see a lot of aggression out of both teams, I'm hoping, here as we start off our second day here in Week 9. As the players leave just about everything they have on the Rift. OpTic still looking to move forward a bit and keep that playoff position and hopes alive as the coaches shake and make their way to the backstage after giving the last bits of information to their team to use on the Rift. With that Jax play, looking back to Week 3 against Clutch, 12-0-3 from Someday on that pick. If he can put out that kind of performance today, I believe we might have a very quick game on the Rift.
Yeah, and if Someday is able to put on the carry pants, show that he's still in the running for the MVP for regular season, because he's up there at the top 2. There are some people that are competing for it right now. And PoE is also somebody that's been on tip of people's tongues.
Yeah, a twister to say.
Yeah. It was interesting, though, because this match means a lot. 100 Thieves could look at a first-round bye going into playoffs. That gets them straight to Oakland if they're able to win this one and then win the following tiebreaker that they'll have later in the day off of that. And OpTic, they could just be in playoffs off a win here and then a loss from Echo Fox or TSM.
And we are going to hear now from Zabutin to see how they feel going into this game.
Thanks, guys. This is clearly an incredibly important game for OpTic. So what's the team like coming into this game?
I think yesterday we were a little bit stressed. You know, it was a do-or-die match. Losing it makes us we don't have control on our fate. So I think the players are much more relaxed because they know that they have to win this game no matter what. But it's already not on us. So I think they're going to play relaxed and it should be the deciding factor for us.
And we already have action happening, so we're going to head back to the casters.
Thank you, Abali. Yeah, Power of Evil down to about 100 HP as they watch on. Zabutin saying they feel good coming in. They might feel bad coming out of a first level fight in First Blood onto Power of Evil for 100 Thieves.
And that was all over the place there. Even just kind of the wraparound that happened. They're saying, how did he even get in that position where you have Someday behind him? We even saw Cody-san coming in from the side. That was a fight where when we look at that again, it's really kind of the setup beforehand. Where are the wards and why are they allowing this to happen? And it looked like they had just said there aren't going to be that many people in the jungle that early. And they're already going for an invade here to just put the Sejuani that far behind.
Well, Power of Evil's flash is there. Anda comes up with that kill on the Graves and 3 assists all the way to the bot side. Ryu, Cody-san, and Afromu. Not really able to spend this to start things off. We'll see how they use the level advantages they should be getting in lane, though.
Yeah, and that's Afromu TP to the bottom side using Summoner's Spellbook as well. And something that he'll be able to swap the TP out for heal, exhaust, stuff like that later for the lane phase. Let's see this one more time. Yeah, look at the top side of this where they push Dokla out. So Cody-san and Someday pushed Dokla out. I don't think they expected Cody-san to be there. I don't know if they saw him, but it looked like Someday and the duel that was happening. And then PoE goes, oh, Cody-san is here. And then it flashes towards Afromu, where if he had flashed up and to the right, that may have been a better flash. But in that moment, when you are panicking and trying to get away from the Jhin, you're not thinking completely straight about which way you're going to go. You can see it in retrospect, but that is just a lot of pressure from unexpected angles. Fog of War, incredibly powerful.
In those tense moments, there's a lot of chatter. You can see Afromu slowly pulling off, allowing kills to happen. Seemed very calm, cool, and collected there for 100 Thieves. Someday stacking up quite a wave here. He can push into the turret. Dokla a little trouble so he can back. It looks like we're off and running here for this game with 100 Thieves on a slight lead. Yeah, right? I would miss that.
Yeah,
but somehow the pros are like, oh, nothing will hit it. That'll stay at 1 health forever.
The cannon minion ran away from him. That was like, no, someday. If he had missed that, I wouldn't have blamed him at all. That cannon minion was just, I did not like him.
It's all right.
But he still got it anyway. Something else that I wanted to mention was when Zoe got locked in, there was like an audible kind of no from the crowd. But I looked down and I'm like, this is actually the first time Power of Evil has played Zoe all split.
It doesn't matter. Now he's in that boat.
But I'm like, everybody gets at least one, man. You get the one where you're like, I'll try this champion. You know? This is his first time. The guy's giving you the
condemn him.
He's giving you like the Kaisa mix. He's gone the Ari, the Talon. Maybe he's Victor's his most played this split with 3.
Yeah.
Like the guy is pulling out unique stuff. As soon as he conforms, it's like you turn on him real quick. Why does he do this? He should get one though. I'm just saying.
So they look to repair a little bit of that early game deficit through the top side. Acadian sneaks into the brush, also with a push that Onda had. I'm sorry, that Someday had. Onda could be around this.
Yeah,
looks like they're gonna keep it calm though.
You got to be ultra patient here though, because Someday's gonna take his sweet time last inning, and as a jungler, you need to keep your pace up. Yeah, his back, he gets the blue smite. Doesn't want to waste any time there. Anda's gonna back. Grab himself off the first blood, and the fact that he has 34 CS and got a large amount of jungle, you can see right there immediately. That's where you have just too much gold. You go for the long swords, you go for 2 control wards so he can stay out on the map and just replace one later. So this is for absolute vision control. I think he's going to go, I would potentially say towards the top side of the map here, towards the Jax and the Camille to make sure that he could protect his split pusher.
Yeah. Especially for this time, it looks like since Someday is piling that wave up, it'll take him a little bit longer to get over, allow OpTic to set something up themselves.
Take away the Raptors.
Always. Get his tendies. Delicious. Grab him right up. Such a push in as well from Ryu. He's not letting Power of Evil have any fun. You gotta think, it's not even been 5 minutes yet. That flash is still on cooldown for Power of Evil.
Yeah, that's kind of the result of the early part of the game. Ryu, though, yeah, just chunking him out. And that's the result of the early part of the game was, sure, there's first blood onto Anda, and he gets the top half of the jungle. That means that your split push Camille can't play as far up because your jungler has to play to the other side and to get camps. And then your mid lane doesn't have flash, so you're in an even worse spot. And Dokla, being in a bad spot.
There's about 10 caster minions on that right now. They had time to kind of mill about the turret and figure out if they wanted it or not. Good rule of thumb, if it's taken about 5-6 seconds to execute, you might want to leave.
Yep.
Acadian was right on the backside of that fight. Just up on 6 minutes. We see 100 Thieves trying to put a few things on the plate. Nice deadly flourish on the bot side for some crowd control, but nobody really trying to push that early game advantage. Power of Evil also playing safe with that flash down. Now it's up! Oh no! As soon as he gets it, he goes down to Ryu. Acadian just short on the counter engage.
And Ryu got the flash, the EW, the root onto Power of Evil, and there was no way he could really get out of that. So that was really well played there because he flashed and he was still rooted afterwards.
I actually brought that up with Mark as well in Academy on Friday, is how much do you play on the fact that if that person knows their flash is coming up, they're going to start being a little more aggressive as well. When do you take that in consideration? Because he just gets it, and he's not even in a really good spot to gank, but they know they have a chance of it being down right here.
There it is, yeah.
So good.
Has to flash there. Yep. I don't think he really has anything else he could do there. The only thing is maybe he portal jumps for a second over the wall just to live a little longer, but that's it. Yeah. I don't think it helps him out that much. That's the flash down again, but Ryu's flash is down, and Ryu did pay the cleanse tax. I like that. It really does shut down the Sejuani and make her not want to gank you, and also it's good against the Zoe too. Something that, getting out of a sleepy trouble bubble can throw the Zoe off, because sometimes she'll walk up after she lands it, and then you cleanse, you dodge the Q, and you run at her, and she has no abilities. Her E's down, her Q's down, and it's a good way to counter.
Bit of a CS lead there in mid lane, obviously. 60-44 from the top lane, back and forth. Really haven't seen too much intervention from the junglers there either, so some days have a field day to start.
It's not direct intervention, but it's, I would say it's proximity intervention where Anda is controlling the top side. He got the top Raptors, he just took away the top red buff. There's nothing for Acadian to really farm on the top side, and he's in a better spot as the Grave, so he'll win those 2-on-2s. He has more items. champions a little more powerful in skirmishes, and so that allows Someday to be more aggressive, and Dokla has to respect it.
Yeah, you have to respect what you can't see. It makes it really difficult. You're hoping that what you can't see isn't going to die to you every moment of the game. Here, Dokla is pushed up. Teleport's there for him, so if anything happens, he can get back in.
Yep.
And
that's another cycle on the jungle, though.
Yep.
Like, that's another Raptor down. Oh. Good from Big to hang around, but there's Aframo and
matching roams.
Yeah, matching the roam, leaving the ADCs by themselves, marksmen by themselves. But this just feels bad. Acadian just now hitting 6, and you can just see the CS difference in the jungle actually is decent. Acadian, he's spotted. That's going to be cleansed, though.
One hit, can't follow up any permafrost. Aframo and the rest of the team is still there. Just short on the play. Still trying, though. OpTic is looking to get their foot in the door and trying to get a few more kills back on their side of the board. Hit in. Level 6s for the top side here. Quick hook shot out from Dokla. We'll have to see what this becomes for Dokla. Maybe the teleport to a different lane actually helps him get the kill he needs. A little bit of upper hand or advantage in that lane, because I don't think it's going to happen 1v1 for Someday, but if you do leave Someday alone for a moment, that lane's going to go down fast.
Yeah.
So it's hard to choose.
Yeah, but he did TP back just now, and Someday has teleport, so...
Good call.
It means Dokla's going to have to find a way to get priority with the Tiamat if he wants. I think try to keep Someday in the lane. Otherwise, if Someday is able to push, not have to use his teleport, and go for a free back and spend his gold, then he's going to put Dokla in a really bad spot where he can't match it without losing CS.
Honda having a fantastic jungle as well, 71 to 45. And able to kind of track Acadian here, even without the wards being in mid. Wherever Honda is, you can almost assume Acadian's there, trying to counter just that presence.
Yeah, but it's so hard for Acadian to even get farmed here. This is a rough situation for a jungler where your top lane is kind of shut off because the enemy jungle has been taking the reds and your top side farm. Your mid laner has blown his flash twice and he's gotten killed twice. And so he doesn't have pressure in that lane at all, and he keeps getting pushed in, so they get free reign of your top half jungle. So 2 of your lanes kind of get sacked, and then the Graves gets to take your farm. So he relies on Arrow and Big kind of winning the 2v2 bottom lane to get something back, and maybe you can play the bottom side, but that's not happening right now.
Yeah.
And it leaves Acadian in an awkward spot where he has to kind of re-gank this because the cleanse is down to potentially make something happen here. Watch Anda. Anda's also kind of on this side.
I think they just saw that ward die where that debris
Well,
is, so Anda knows.
I think Acadian just went straight in. You just saw him kind of peek his face out.
Oh. So they want to hit him early. He cleanses down. They're going to go for the fight full on. Very tanky for Ryu, but he goes down as they finally get that damage from Power of Evil. I don't know if this one continues. Aframo taking an interesting way out, but he uses the W to get the safety. And a bit hesitant there, but OpTic, fine. The rinse and repeat in mid lane.
Yeah, that was a TP from Aframo to come in and flank, and Acadian had no fear. He's like, I have to gank him now, or I'm never going to gank him again, because if you give Ryu any more time, he's going to have that cleanse back up, which is what he was waiting for.
This could actually start getting pretty good for OpTic. They start getting arrows, enchanted crystals across the map. That cleanses down, and they can start really punishing Ryu if they want to choose to. Hook shot in onto Someday. Gets that Hextech ultimatum down. Acadian has no ult, but the permafrost does lock it. Anda just short. The blast, the jump from the leap strike, as now it's Anda in a 2v1. How much does he want, though? It looks like he's going to back off on this one. Great protection and escape by Someday.
Yeah, Someday playing that perfectly. He gets the double stun and the flashes afterwards. Really well timed on that one. And they're still hanging around here. They're still hanging out.
A bit of a roam, maybe? Just a ward there coming in from Rio. I thought he might realm warp up and really join the party. It looks like with the power they could put on the turret versus Dokla alone, Acadian will just kind of hover here and play babysitter for the time being. A second wave, and then they should be able to disperse.
Ryu coming on up. Has realm warp. Is this another red take?
That could be overall. Knowing that Dokla's a little low and Acadian took a hit there with ult down, they could easily start the pressure in. Dokla wants a hit, knowing under the turret he's going to draw that aggro. Teleports come in, the 1, the 2, the 3, and he almost gets him, but smited down in the end, or I should say taken down in the end. by Anda, and they come up with some more kills there. Sorry, that was Ryu.
Yeah.
Getting all mixed up and he's flying into the fight here.
That's okay. So
Relform did come in.
So was Dokla. He's like, I got panic.
How do I dodge? How do I do it?
Oh, wait.
Glacial Fisher back. Looks like Big could be on the front to devour, but he needs one more lick onto Aphromoo. They aren't able to come up with too much there, but good pressure from the top side of the map. Power of Evil isn't letting this one end as they go coast to coast. Almost draws the Battlestar forward from max range. And they're going to get out of this one. He may want one more shot, but he's just picking up some summoners.
Yep, picking up some summoners, but man, it's just been so close here on both sides. 100 Thieves go to the top side. They play for that turret. They get it, and they set up Sunday. And I believe they just got that first turret gold split across multiple people. See if they stick around here. Power of Evil is sticking around.
Whoa, not the most mobile marksman.
It's also not the...
Not going to take it. Even though they have vision down the lane.
It's not the fastest turret take either.
This is true.
It's very slow. And now Ryu towards the bottom side, looking to scuttle.
Mine or yours. You do this, I'll take it.
Oh, just let it run around.
Taunting each other. They don't know. There's so much vision for OpTic on the backside of Dragon. It looks like they still don't want to go too hard here, knowing they're at a deficit. Something silly like Scuttle to lose even Mortal.
Yeah, and
would not
PoE,
be the thing.
PoE had just backed, and he was running down the lane. He had to catch the farm at the turret, so there's no way he was going to be able to help out there. Now, the question is, do they see this? Because the Ashe now up, but they're pretty far away. I don't think they can test. This is free for 100 Thieves.
Mountain Drake feels good, especially for Someday. He's loving that on the other side of the map if he gets free time with objectives, or rather turrets. As Dokla starts to push up on this lane, Sheen and Tiamat for himself, and the Phage and Tiamat as they get closer and closer to their core items.
Now, does the swap come out here? Because they took the top turret. The bot lane is doing decently for both sides, and you could swap it and have Someday there, but I feel like you want that bottom tier 1 turret, and having your duo lane there is probably better. Even with Dragon down. Because when there's lopsided or asymmetrical objectives, like the Rift Herald is up, but there's no Dragon that's up. Oh, base check. Oh, he dodged it.
Right down. Here comes Tom Kench's Abyssal Voyage. A lot of damage from Dokla up front. Someday's forced to run. Anda and Ryu are both there. Cleanse comes in. He can't stay in the portal. Did he just get in? Oh, he ate it before he hit the portal. And he's brought back to the void by Acadian. Beautiful job by OpTic.
That was so well played from Dokla, and the fact that Big, that was a heads-up play there to roam. Dokla outplays with the ultimate, dodges the stun, and then Big comes in with the reinforcement.
Huge.
Such a good play there, because they get so much out of it. They get the kills that they need, they get the turret to equalize it, and they do lose their bottom at the same time, but they also make it so that this is a Ryu with no cleanse, a repeatable gank there, and the Rift Herald to boot.
Acting on an instant advantage, OpTic are able to kind of sweep across the map. They really needed that turret as well. Having top drop kind of conversely, they can start to answer things back a little bit.
Look at this mid turret. This mid turret's almost about to go down. So
you have a Rift Herald, so you don't even have to use it, and you can definitely get the bottom one.
Yeah, I think what you do is you try to take this without using Rift Herald, then you'll use Rift Herald later. Watch this. Dodges it perfectly. Gets the stun afterwards, keeps the Hectic ultimatum. He's got to use that Q to jump away. Good follow-up flash there from Acadian. Throws the Bola over the shoulder, and Big says, no, you're not getting away. It looked like Dokla was committed to that too. Throws down the E. That was good from Big, because either he takes the portal if he's not stunned, or he's going to flash over the wall, because Ryu still had flash during that time. He just wasn't at a point where you could flash into that kind of, that left side wall area.
It'd be great if Big figured out that he is now part of the portal with Rise inside his stomach. Big takes a solo trip. Not this time. The interaction doesn't occur. Okay, gold lead for 100 Thieves still with what has been happening. And now OpTic just bit back very hard. They have that Rift Herald on the horizon to really close that gold deficit. Just quick clears in mid lane. OpTic has some good forward wards pushed up onto that blue side, but 100 Thieves is doing most of the work towards bottom now.
Yeah, 100 Thieves need to play towards this mid turret. It's the last of the remaining outers for them, and they also need to protect their bottom and their mid at the same time, which are both very low. This is either you get this turret and you go up 3 turrets to 1, or you end up having all these other turrets go down, and it's just equal 3-3. So 100 Thieves need to keep the pressure on, keep that vision up, and kind of take care of business here and use that advantage they have in the jungle as well as the mid lane. And Rise, there's the flash that Ryu had held on to.
So close. Arrow, Abyssal Voyage, Sleepy Bubbles.
Yeah,
That's scary.
If he backs, that's the wave clear kind of out of there.
That could be 2. If they actually decide to use Rift Herald here, they'll knock this down and have a good chunk on second tier, but may not be able to secure it with the amount of pressure 100 Thieves has here. Still, someday on the bot side, trying to focus as Dokla holds that off, doing some janitorial duty on those minion waves coming in. 1:40 on to Baron. It looks like Arrow's going to be top side for now. As we start pushing, things are going to slow down for a moment.
Just for a moment, as Dokla has to push out the bottom wave. Some days get to the back, and it's Tiamat going. Oh. It's a fake flash, but
yeah,
still. Oh, he picked up the bubble.
Sleepy, but he's good. He wakes up. Turret down. Rift Herald is up, so that means Shelly's going to be looking for a second tier. It may have now been spawned a little early. Big still on the forefront of this, trying to get that room in. And Shelly's short. Just short of the turret. It looks like they'll be able to knock it down before getting anything out of that. Great stop by 100 Thieves.
I like how she keeps getting pushed back by Graves Auto. Stop it! Ah, well, it hurts.
The punishing shotgun shots. Now they have the reloaders in mid lane here. Cody Sun and Onda on Jhin. And that Graves. We'll see if they can both keep reloaded in these fights for maximum damage output.
Interrupt the back.
Just a bit. Baron is up in 30 seconds as everybody comes off the fountain ASAP with some of their new items here. The rest looks like they're going to stay on the Rift.
I gotta say, PoE's Zoe has been really interesting to watch. His CS is good, but I have not been in love with his Qs or his use of the portal jump. It's been really aggressive. It's almost like, I don't know how quite to describe it. It's kind of a, I wouldn't say he's a master of Zoe, because he's not playing to her ranges. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's the Lich Bane. Okay, this is why. Yeah, I was like, what is he doing? Because like a lot of Zoes will go for the spell penetration builds. You're just making sure that you can kind of deal true damage to people. And he's like, I'm gonna portal jump in and hit you with more sparkles.
Just basically sparkle him.
Because every time you know, your portal jump is not a damaging ability, but if you have Lich Bane, it is, because you get a Lich Bane proc.
Right.
So you portal jump in, you just slam him with a big Lich Bane hit, and then you get to just do your combo from there. So he's not playing to the long range of Zoe, he's playing to the kind of mid-range Zoe, which makes you very catchable, but at the same time, it is a little bit more rewarding in terms of, you don't have, like, you can do more damage very quickly without having to rely on the bubble or the Q.
I mean, you also look at the play style and the mind of the player we're talking about. In his style, he always wants to kind of be outside the box. It feels more comfortable to him to do things the other team really isn't expecting, to play it in a different way. And that's power of evil for you. And usually he can really do it to a good tune. Here's 2-1-2 and 0. Like you said, still good on that CS. And we haven't seen kind of the real factor of it yet. It'll come soon with that Lich Bane. Exhaust up for him on that Summoner W. Looks like he'll stay safe in mid lane for now. So many wards from OpTic. Definitely a very big plus for them in this game to just keep eyes on 100 Thieves.
OpTic, they just need to claim that bottom turret. They've evened up the turrets. That mid turret hasn't gone down yet. And 100 Thieves, if they want that first round bye, they have to win this. If they lose this, they can't get a first round bye, because the other two teams that are tied at 10 wins are Cloud9 and FlyQuest, who play each other. So one of them has to move to 11 wins. So in order to contest it, 100 Thieves have to win this and then win the tiebreaker against them later. And OpTic, they still want playoffs.
Summoner Spellbook to the cleanse, so Alphamu doesn't become a problem for the team.
That's
going to be on front.
Is that QSS?
Oh, you're right, he does, but he also has... Good call, though. Good eye.
There's a lot of QSSs in this game. Sejuani and Zoe are making you pick it up and feel like it's good value. Because getting picked is probably the way that OpTic win this game, is they pick you off with an Ash Arrow, they pick you off with a Zoe Bubble, ultimate with Sejuani, right? So you have to avoid all those. Don't get picked off. So 2 cleanses, 2 QSSs. They can put an arrow in the side lane to grab some farm, bring him back. It's kind of, they aren't built to 1-3-1. Arrow has the teleport, so he's the one who goes in the side lane.
These decent clear of Power of Evil here. If he can keep hitting that back line, even though Paddle Star doesn't clear as well as it used to, they manage. And it doesn't look like there's too much damage hitting up onto this mid turret now for 100 Thieves. Game stalling out slightly. Quite a bit we've seen Baron be a focus here. Both teams either just want to fight over a ward. It seems like 100 Thieves is pretty dedicated to cracking this last mid turret.
Yeah, and this is kind of the, I wouldn't call it the NA RAM just yet. It's very close to it. But this is where you just have 3 people strong against each other. You play for side waves. And so Dokla is like threatening the bottom side right now, potentially looking to take that turret, which is incredibly low. But then also Ryu, who this composition is a little bit better suited to 1-3-1ing on the side of 100 Thieves. They can go ahead and play to Ryu, who can push up, stay there a little bit longer. But red buff, and looking for potentially another steal here. Oh, but look at that.
Give up somebody crush the turret here, and they might trade for mid, knowing that pressure. A hit onto Aframu. Still has that Quicksilver back up from the last time, and it looks like they won't be able to get mid. Bot does fall in favor of OpTic. Still a 2,000 gold lead for 100 Thieves, and things kind of don't change too much with that. Just a bit of gold for maybe a core item if OpTic can get the chance to back here.
That was Cody's son. That was a retired Captain Jack there. That's where you start you start seeing things. He did QSS nothing at that point. You know, Aframu was the one who ended up eating that one. But you can't be too safe, I guess.
It's good he used it. As long as there's not a second arrow to hit you, you're fine. You're just practicing for the next one.
Because like now it's like QSSs are down. If you can hit Cody's son, nail him with an arrow here, then you'd be able to start off the fight. So Cody's son needs to avoid that. Aframu needs to stand in front of him and has the cleanse still available. So either Aframu or Ryu standing in front of him for the next, it's about 30 seconds-ish before that QSS comes back up.
I wonder if we use that time. You got Sleepy Trouble Bubble into an Ash Arrow, into a Glacial Prison, kind of all perfect.
And then into another Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Over 5 seconds, easy.
Yeah, I don't want to think about
crowd control. That's terrifying.
Even though Sejuani's got nerfed, I don't want to think about that either. Yeah, went down. It used to be 2 seconds. It used to be 2 seconds, but it's apparently too powerful.
2 seconds is a forever time in League of Legends. That's why you always get like Lulu's Whimsy, and you're like, I move forever. It's like 5 seconds. That's forever. 25 minutes on the clock. Actually, it has not felt like forever in this game. Just 3-3. These teams have slowly been testing each other and really haven't even gotten touches on the second-tier turrets in this game yet.
Yep, arrow's off on the side lane. Once again, farming. There's an arrow coming down. What's it saying? Aframu corner pocket.
Ooh, blocked from the side. Oh, hook shot in. Doesn't decide to take any Hex Tech fight. As they stand strong for each team. A bit of a rotation from Sunday on the right. Oh, quick drowsy onto Aframu. Now he has that Quicksilver up again. Glacial Fisher back. OpTic arrow is low from the fight with Ryu in the river. And it looks like they're going to try to fire back with the curtain call here. Is anything followed up on Acadian low? Devoured in by Big. Thrown to safety. Not looking good for OpTic, though, as their health bars are getting shredded.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
The rest of the map is falling.
Exactly. They're going to lose that bottom turret. They're also going to lose this mid turret off that.
A big burst of gold there for 100 Thieves. 4,000 gold lead now, coming up on 26 minutes. Who's first to back and who's fastest to get back to objectives?
Yeah, they got to make sure that they're back on the map in 30 seconds for that Ocean Drake. It's actually a good Drake to have in the mid-game, especially against these two teams. If you can have a split pusher with an Ocean Drake, helps them out immensely. And something else to consider here is that Dokla went for the Ravenous Hydra. It's a Titanic Hydra for some days. So some days team fight is going to be quite good. Dokla is pretty much committed to the split pushing. And then Someday also went for a Vampiric Scepter, which doesn't really always fit into the build. You can get Blade of the King and whatnot on Jax. But this is mostly for the split push just to make sure that he can duel Dokla, who has Vamp himself. So I actually really like that, just to pick it up and have it so you can match a little bit of the lifesteal.
Love to see a 1v1 between those two. We saw that lock-in of Jax some days back in week 3.
Oh, flank? Bringing Dokla, right?
You can do it again. Big, and yes, Dokla onto Aframu. He's the one who's been cleansing over and over, but he's still the target for the team with teleport cooldown for him. And the cleanse not able to be used. They finally get Aframu.
We are looking at Big making some great plays this game. He has 100% kill participation, the only person on the team to have that. And a lot of it is off the Abyssal Voyages. We saw them multiple times just be Up top lane, down
good.
in. He's breaking the game open here with his shot calling and this Tom Kench. And they're rushing this Baron down. Can Anda get in? And it's a flank. Both sides.
Someday can get a full 5-team stun if he heads in with the counter-strike up. Gets himself locked up for a moment as they try to get in. Cleansed out. It's going to be a smite from Acadian as OpTic turns for the fight. Ryu and Someday are looking for a front target, but they both have to fully commit. They have OpTic pinned in the pit. Spit him over the wall. It's not going to happen. He throws him up inside the pit. An arrow goes down. He lost his food. It's now going to be 3 down for OpTic. Acadian head towards mid as Dokla looks for solace in the same mid turret.
Yeah, that was a 2-for-1 route there. Just eats your buddy. Big doesn't have flash. He's still guys like swapped out summoner spells right now. That's going to be, even though they get the Baron, that's going to be 100 Thieves. Getting turrets, getting pressure, possibly an inhibitor.
Such quick fights. They're able to take down a few members of 100 Thieves here and there, but 100 Thieves always finding a way back into the heist to get their money back. Taking down top inhibitor. Still waiting on OpTic's side for 3 to respawn.
OpTic hesitated really hardcore there in that fight where they waited so long that Someday got to make the decision, kind of a freebie, to go and TP in. We'll see this one more time because that's kind of the big moment here. Is it's a 4v4, right? You see them coming in. Someday walks up and then Anda cleanses. There's the kill on the Baron. Someday running away here. Sorry, it wasn't Someday. It was Aframu is the one who comes in. That's the big thing. It's because it's a 3v4 here, but Aframu respawns, comes back in. It would have been a 4v3 in favor of OpTic, but they're just too afraid of Someday. They're too afraid of Ryu. And they allow him to even up the numbers. And they get the Ocean Drake, though. Remember, they still have 2 Barons active. Yep. One on Acadian. I believe the other one is on Dokla on the split push.
To say that Ocean Drake's helps as well for Dokla. Trying to get that split push going. Opposite sides now with Someday as it's focused bottom side and top side of the map. Dokla relieves the last bit of pressure and will find him back with his team. Unless they can hold this on the bot side of the map. It looks like he continues to push.
Yeah,
he comes back.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
He has the Baron. He's got to go. Whether you're sacrificing waves to this Jax or trying to catch him out. Let's see. There's the ultimate. They're going to go on to Someday here.
Ryu and Aframu trying to get in range. Aframu can give him the resistances with W, but Someday makes it out. Glacial Fisher on the backside to Aframu. He's going to be the first focus again as Ryu almost close to getting the stick with the lick, and they're going to make it out on Realm Warp with the Abyssal Voyage on Tribrush. Not a good direction for the fight continued as OpTic are able to hold the base strong.
A good fight for them. Like you said, they get to get some of that time off of the fact the inhibitor is down. The Baron, though, it's not going to result in any pushes or turrets for OpTic. It's just defense now because of what happened in that fight. They're doing damage control off of the decision they had made earlier, and the game is going to be pretty much in the same state gold-wise when this Baron expires as it was before the Baron was on, except the only thing is that inhibitor top lane is down, so that's pressure advantage for 100 Thieves. You can see they go on to Someday. Dokla doesn't quite make contact with the E, but Someday is too far forward relative to his team. Can't get out immediately, and then Acadian throws the bola, hits Aframu, kind of through everybody, threads the needle there, and then he gets the cleanse out of Ryu too.
It's just an Aframu kind of day for all of the ultimates.
Yeah, good party portal there from Ryu. Get everybody out.
OpTic 5 seconds on the Baron buff. They'll take one last breath with that. Hope the next fight goes in their favor as well. Backs from Acadian and Dokla as they safely push the top side. They're going to meet back with the team here as the waves are crushing in for Someday on bot and in middle. Looks like they will try to split it here. They leave Power of Evil on the bot side.
Yeah.
Looks like they're kind of just trading each other out, like switching bases, covering for each other until they get the right formation and everyone out of base.
Minus 650 Baron power play. That thing is so close to just being exactly the same as it was before the Baron. But another big flank.
Cleanse there. Glacial Fisher instantly so they can't get the lick to stick. Aframu very close to Devour. Goes down before it even happens. And now Someday, a quick leap out of Glacial Prison keeps him safe. 100 Thieves doing a lot in defense right now as they retreat from OpTic Gaming.
And they just keep picking on Aframu. He's 0-3-1 right now. They keep engaging on him. Even though he has QSS, even though he's swapping to cleanse, they're still just going in. But honestly, Big is doing an incredible job this game of keeping OpTic proactive when they're behind. This Tom Kench pick that they got after the Braum was the first pick here is 100% KP, and he's doing work. He is delivering the right people to the back line. He is ulting to the right places, and he's keeping OpTic in it.
Oof. Realm were very close to being able to lock down one of two members in Dokla or Acadian. And coming out of Champion Select, I kind of mentioned it, the Tom Kench plays kind of even across Academy to now have just been so aggressive and great in the confidence they use. Usually it's, oh, we're chasing a fight. No, the fight's starting, let's get there. And it's been awesome to see.
And even with the ultimate there from Afromu, Dokla able to slide right in, gets the damage off, and they're able to blow him up. And Big is keeping OpTic's playoff hopes alive right now with those plays.
A very big voice from that bottom lane we've heard for so many seasons. It's definitely going to help coming into these stressful moments. Remember, OpTic brings himself to 9-9, which then definitely gives them the chance to kind of control their own destiny, but it's up to the rest of the teams after that.
Yeah, but still, it's a huge improvement for OpTic off of last split, for the bottom of the table, right? Looking at 9th place, second to last. And they made a few changes, come in, and now they're vying for a playoff spot. They're very close to doing so. Today is a huge day for them, because yesterday fell a little short against TSM, and like Zabutin, their coach, was saying, there was pressure on them then. Yeah. Pressure is a bit relieved, because now they feel like it's not in their hands. They just have to take care of business and sit back and watch the rest of the day. But they still got to take care of step one.
Yeah, the most of it that was in their hands, too, for these past 2 weeks, we've mentioned as the hardest schedule lineup that any team had to play. So these guys have really been chomping at the bit to find that playoff spot. They have been tested.
Yeah, they had the hardest 4 remaining games to play out of any team. And the fact that they beat Echo Fox, they lost to Liquid and TSM, they lose to 100 Thieves, it's almost like an expected outcome.
It's another finals
of 3-1 or 1-3. If they go 2-2 in that schedule, though, that's kind of the upset there for OpTic, where they were poised to maybe go 3-1 on it. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't what ended up happening. And now, see what move they make here. I'm just watching Big on the minimap all the time now. I don't know when he's going to go in.
He wanted to root him. He's like, just a little bit of damage.
Yeah, they got to back and take care of that bottom wave that Someday keeps pushing in. Someday actually provides so much pressure for his team. It's not always incredibly visible, but oh, the Raptors, come on! Afro move, friend of the farm. And even the chickens hate Zoe.
Oh man, I can see that. 100 Thieves as well, a team that made changes throughout the split, and one that was able to keep a top standing. A lot of teams have found that changes needed to be made, and there's turmoil in that. We saw 100 Thieves finals last split. It looks like they're going to be able to put themselves in a position for such again, even with the change.
Yeah, this is super good. They have a split pusher that has so much lifesteal that they can actually solo this. No. Leave Dokla alone.
Don't touch that alteration. Show them.
They got to keep everybody away. You got to keep Anda out of it. They're going to get it before he even gets there. There's no chance of a steal.
Oh, almost a chance of a steal as the curtain was called, but they're exiting now stage right. They need to get the hell out of there. OpTic's going to turn on this fight. Abyssal Voyage goes in with the Glacial Fissure, and 100 Thieves is looking to turn this one around. Someday starts going ham on the back line. Almost find 2 kills. Big is skirting himself out with a sliver of health.
He's got
the round warp comes in, and it looks like they'll be able to get themselves now into at least a 3v4 they can look at. Big has to back. And we also see Dokla getting hit on a ward. He gets stopped. As 100 Thieves stops the back, they're going to look for Baron.
Yeah, and that fight was so hectic. Sure, they got the Elder Dragon. OpTic, though, they lose 2. They lose their smite. Someday's the one that drops in return, and that's better for 100 Thieves. They have their smite up, and if this goes long enough, the TP is a threat. Dokla and Power of Evil have to do work. There's the TP from Big. He's going to try to get in here with the Summoner Spellbook.
3,100 on the Baron. After is low, and he's quite near Baron. Smited down by Anda. The fight continues.
Put Anda
low. Everybody's low on 100 Thieves, and OpTic dives in. Graves down. Tony's Sun falls. The double kill coming in for Power of Evil as OpTic cleans up 100 Thieves after Baron.
Dokla goes nuts with the help of Big, and they are still alive in this. OpTic
They get the Baron off of everybody,
That's
and then
huge.
they're able to push this down with the Elder Dragon.
Absolutely ridiculous. The hit for Elder Dragon to be uncontested as well from 100 Thieves kind of blows my mind because OpTic has such a surge in power now. 12 to 8, 38
They might
minutes
end
in,
right
they're
here.
breaking the base.
They have to tank these turrets. Someday has to pull off a miracle for the first round bye.
He's going to try to do it on the Jax, a 4v1 situation, tries to
He got
deny
the wave.
CS.
He got the minion
That
wave.
means the turrets are going to be stronger with defenses. The new wave comes in as Arrow tanks a few, and he could be a target to take down. Afra moves up with 4 seconds onto Cody's son. Turret 1 is down. Turret 2 in favor of OpTic Gaming. They control their destiny, and they still look for a playoff spot.
OpTic are still alive in the running for top 6. The high-pressure games, those ending calls, the voice that cuts through, don't care. PoE and Big making insane plays at the end there. And you got to give credit to the whole team across the board.
Romain has chills on stage, so proud of his team, and you can see even some of the OpTic members were covering their mouths like, that just happened, that's what we needed. And it looks like even to them, they pulled out a little something extra that even surprised themselves.
It was that magic, the green wall, standing tall.
Absolutely.
Because 100 Thieves, finalists from last split, looking they were near the top of the standings the entire time, and they will not have a first round bye here. They are denied by OpTic Gaming.
Absolutely.
Who end the regular season just 1 win behind 100 Thieves.
And we heard from Zabutin himself coming in strong today. It felt like the team brought that right into the game. For more on that win,